Nigeria has been described by some cynics as a place where the best may not happen, but the worst is impossible.
What really makes Nigeria beautiful is that the many differences and incompatibilities that people see actually add up to a near musical. One tone does not make for good music. You need contrapuntals. And part of the beauty of this country come from the differences that very many of us want to weed out.
Today, we are the largest economy in Africa. For every black in the world, you have 1 out of 5 are Nigerians. So we already have a very vibrant society.
With a population of more than 180 million people, Nigeria is the largest country in Africa. The diversity of culture, people, language, and tradition of Africa's most populated country, from the Atlantic coastline to the edges of the Sahara Desert, from the rainforests to the rich agricultural lands of the Mambilla, Nigeria is a juxtaposition of contrasts, shades, and textures that color the buzz, activity, and labor of a hard-working people. It's a place of creativity, innovation, and labor. It's a country that Nigerians call home.
MTN, as an organization, was keen from the very start of its involvement here, making sure that it could give to society more than just the technological services in telecommunications that it was offering.
The very core of our business is really about empowering society with technology, with solutions, with products, with services to make their lives easier, to make their lives more meaningful, to make their lives more convenient, and to make their lives brighter.
It was clear to MTN from the beginning that a successful MTN without carrying along its community of stakeholders was not a sustainable business. So right from the outset, it was clear that we had to partner with our communities.
The way we have to do that is by being as close as possible to our customers, not just physical proximity, but emotional proximity. We need to, discuss with our customers. We need to, be part of their lives. We need to live in the places where they live, to understand the challenges that they have, the hopes that they have.
Everything that we do in MTN, from our operations to, the value addition we bring to the country, is all hinged on, the ability to create and give value.
Beyond the consumers of the product, the larger public, are also important. They're part of the key and critical stakeholders that we must deliver value to.
With the development of many new business sectors in Nigeria, MTN has become a leader in the field of IT and telecommunication solutions. As a critical enabler of the economy, MTN Nigeria is committed to strategies and business practices that foster economic growth in the country. This vision is what drives MTN's commitment to Nigeria and its people. It's what stimulates that philosophy of connecting the unconnected, and people are the center of this connection.
The economy runs through the efforts of people, through what people actually do. And so it is the extent to which I am productive, you are productive, everybody is productive. That's what really builds up the economy. That's why we have government. That's why we have other organizations.
We're very fortunate as a business the fact that we have an opportunity to impact the lives of 60 million plus customers across the country. For each of these customers, they are trying to make a living every day. They are connecting with friends, with families, creating social and emotional connections. They are trying to make a living, going into business.
The people in the community in which you operate, the people in the environment in which you operate are absolutely critical. They are the most important. So if a company is successful, it didn't happen by itself.
Everything that we do in the social area is something that all MTNers are very proud about.
The Group President and CEO, MTN, Sifiso Dabengwa, talks on why it's important to MTN to give back to its operating environment.
It's very important for us to be a good corporate citizen wherever we operate. And also that it's very important for us to be part of the solution with respect to some of the social problems and difficulties in the countries or in places where we operate.
So about 10 years ago, we set up the Mtn Foundation because we believe that we have a very critical role to play in this economy, not just as a key corporate player, but also as a company that has enabled societies and communities to operate efficiently.
A lot of thinking went into it, and certain things were decided. One, it had to be corporate social responsibility that was collaborative. It was also decided that to allow the foundation to thrive as much as possible, it was necessary for it to have a different board to govern it.
When selecting the board, we're looking for distinguished individuals in Nigeria who have, in their own various ways, led exemplary lives and contributed to Nigeria's story.
The MTN Nigeria must have done its own work because it brought from different parts of Nigeria people who had the same attitude to following the ideal of service. So it was easy for us to buy into the set programs.
When I was first invited, first of all, I was surprised that I was called up to be part of the team. But when I saw the plan they have for the foundation and the education issues were part of it, I was excited.
My background, especially as a social worker, I think that's what they saw when they were looking for people to serve on the board. And the MTN Foundation is a foundation that impacts on life.
You will find that giving in this country takes different forms and follows different avenues and pathways. There are many successful companies in Nigeria who don't have a department. One single person takes a decision, most of the time on ad hoc basis. Oh, this is going to do me good, put money there. And there is no enduring program. Others have small committees, but the MTN stakeholders, in their wisdom, set up another legal entity, completely autonomous.
But just as important as getting board members who understood the philosophy of service, it was also important to bring on board men and women of the highest integrity, with impeccable records of service to Nigeria, who could provide guidance for setting up processes and structures that would meet international best practice.
When the business was thinking of setting up a foundation, we engaged a consulting firm, actually Phillips Consulting, to conduct research and say, okay, what are the pressing needs in the country? You know, because where do you start? You're going to give back. Where do you start? And so they did research, and they advised that we should focus on education, health, and economic empowerment.
There was a stakeholder engagement process. Many people were called together in a workshop situation to brainstorm. And incidentally, there was a unanimous agreement that whatever they want to do in their corporate social responsibility, they should focus on 3 key areas.
These 3 areas cover the whole of the Nigerian situation. Education starts from the child, nursery, right up to university.
But of course, health is, health is obvious. If you are not healthy, then productivity is not even an option.
The more economic growth there is in a country or in a community, the more purchasing power there is within that economy. And that by that methodology, you can actually grow the pie and increase economic opportunity.
And that's the birth of the 3 portfolios that we have.
However, to ensure the sustainability into the long term and to ensure that the vision for the foundation was not short-circuited, it was vital for MTN to identify how to ensure sustainable funding of the foundation into the long term.
Finance is the backbone of CSR. Remember, everybody that wants to do CSR is first a corporate, a profit-making entity that wants to give back to the society.
They took a decision that was very important, and that is to give 1% of their profit after tax, into the foundation.
We have a continuous funding of the foundation. There's no break. That 1% of the profit after tax is constantly given to the MTNF board.
You know what 1% is of after-tax profit of MTN? It's a lot of money.
Apart from funding, Executive Secretary Noni Uboma talks about the foundation structure.
To give and to give on a sustainable basis, you need structure. Because if you don't have structure, you get carried away emotionally. Because your encounter with every different problem across the country, it could wreck your mind.
MTN likes to do things the proper way. MTN is a company that has a lot of systems in place for due process. We don't want to make mistakes. If we want to do things and do it right.
So it was important then that one had a structured way of giving back, a structured way of structuring the foundation's activity in terms of the selection mode, the implementation mode, selection of the beneficiaries, selection of the project partners, implementation of the projects, and also monitoring of the projects. MTN Foundation is a semi-non-operating NGO. And what do I mean by that? We don't implement projects directly, right? Neither do we provide funds for people to do other projects.
What we do is we articulate everything there is involved in the project, the benefits of that project, the cost of the project, and we capture that in a presentation. And we then have to go get approval from our project approval committee.
One of such committees is the PAC, the Project Appraisal Committee. Actually, that's where all the tooth comb application comes.
Those who skate through our our piercing look, no ramifications, costs and otherwise, and sustainability issues embedded and risks, then if we approve any, the ones that are approved are now recommended to the foundation board.
The PAC meetings can be very, very detailed, objective, and tasking to management and to the members of the PAC.
The committee of our board is very thorough. They ask lots of questions, far-reaching questions, really wrestle and thrash these initiatives till we have something fine and workable.
Some projects come to us and we say, well, it won't go. It goes back to their kitchen for re-cooking.
In addition to the thorough processes of the foundation and its committees, the foundation also leverages its interwoven relationship with the various departments of MTN Nigeria to support its activities.
We leverage on a lot of our internal functions, our procurements, our legal teams, all the expertise we have in-house.
We have a procurement unit in MTN Nigeria, which helps us to select the implementing partner. We don't implement projects ourselves. We have a very lean team, but we work with partners, implementing partners, NGOs, and for-profit companies. They select for us from the plethora of companies that are out there to implement that project.
We now roll out requesting organizations that have capacity to implement, to apply. So that is request for, for proposal. So this is the initiative. Do you think you can do it?
We would work with a partner that shares the same vision and ethos as we do, and we're all every intervention we get, we're all signed up to agreements, agreements that state very clearly what each party's obligations are in that space. And we are guided by that.
The selection policy of MTN Foundation has been able to create synergies with partners from diverse spheres of human endeavor and industry who share the vision and philosophy of the foundation, resulting in the implementation of many innovative and far-reaching CSR interventions.
However good you are, however whatever you do, if the society cannot measure the impact and you cannot feel that you contribute to the society at large, you've lost part of the game. And that's where the perception comes into play.
When large organizations come together and collaborate, what we end up actually doing is to drive change and create new opportunities.
If you have a natural propensity towards something and you meet a partner who doesn't allow that inclination to be optional, actually mandates it, excellence in whatever you do, that's the best partner you can ask for.
MTN is one of the largest companies in Nigeria, so you can't blame them for putting a process and for them to be particular about their process.
And I think it's important that they see their role in shaping the society and making a difference.
In projects with MTN, you have to go the extra mile. You must be passionate about what you do. You must see the projects through. These are projects that are affecting individual lives or lives of communities. So definitely, yes, there's a very strong philosophy match.
Partnership has evolved. And I like the way that it happened because a lot of information was gathered. And I would say that the partnership keeps growing because there's feedback. And MTN Foundation always wants to know how they can do it better.
Typical big organizations are not very much given to accepting opinions and ideas. They just give instructions. This is what we want to do, do it. But that's not how